You are in the middle of a stay-at-home order, yet you have been listing property and putting property under contract, and you're doing it in a way that is in complete compliance with the stay-at-home order. Hi, I am Brian Icenhower, and I am here with the one and only Jillian Boss. Welcome, Jillian.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You bet. Jillian is the top producing luxury agent in Central California, who I have had the pleasure of working with for, man, I don't know how many years, but it's been
10.
a while. Yeah, 10 years. That is a while. That is a while. And ever since you were 14 years old.
That's right.
So we started her freshman year in high school. So anyway, it's kind of an exciting time, and we were just chatting about that right now. You know, the way things are changing in our industry, especially in light of the coronavirus, as daunting as that is, and as scary of a thing as that is, and as troubling as it is creating a lot of what will likely be good changes within our industry that's forcing agents to progress into the place we all knew that we were going to get to sooner or later anyway. And it seems a little bit sooner rather than later, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely.
So what we're talking about, and Jillian, I mean, you are in California, and you're in the middle of a stay-at-home order by the governor of the state of California, yet you have been listing property and putting property under contract, and you're doing it in a way that is in complete compliance with the stay-at-home order. You're not rolling over. You have clients that need to sell. I mean, you're not talking them into it. They need to sell, and for a variety of reasons. And you're able to service them because you're a little bit ahead of the curve here.
Yeah, that's right. Today's Wednesday, and Friday, Governor Newsom issued the shelter-in-place mandate here in California. And we've actually opened an escrow every business day since last Friday. We're definitely being forced into real estate of the future is what we're calling it. And honestly, I think it's exciting. It's good for everybody involved for several reasons. I think it's all in how we look at it. And I'm definitely starting to see the benefits of doing business this way.
Yeah, and I got to bring this up too. What's funny is Jillian is at home actually in her driveway. She is not out driving around. She is staying at home, but she's got 3 kids at home. So she went out to her car to actually shoot this video. So don't worry, she is staying at home. She's just running her business virtually.
I am sheltered in place. I'm just in my car.
Yes, that's correct. So yeah, so I want to make sure before we scare anybody here. And what we're talking about, what I asked Jillian to do is because, you know, she does list a lot of luxury property. I really wanted to talk about the importance of the virtual listing consultation, and how that has, you know, impacted your business, and how you're able to do that, and how you are doing that with your current clients right now.
Well, so when we get a phone call from somebody needing help with selling their home, we are giving them the option of doing a video conference. And, you know, normally they ask a lot of questions because this is new for a lot of people, and it's new for us. And once we tell them about that process, about, hey, we can actually take a look at your home. We don't even have to step foot in your home. We can help you with this process. You stay in your home, I stay in my home. I'm surprised at how open and positive they are about that option. And so we'll talk about what that looks like. I'll introduce them to Zoom or FaceTime if they're not familiar with that. And then we just go about our normal process, really. We email them a copy of the listing presentation, and then we schedule an appointment. We send out the confirmation, and then we proceed via technology on the phone or computer.
That's amazing. Okay, so backing up on a couple things, you said you send them your listing presentation. So this is like a PDF version of what would normally be a printed packet, correct?
That's exactly right.
Okay, good. So they do get something tangible from you that they can kind of look, and they can scroll out in their screen, or if they want to kill trees, they could print it and look at it that way. But for the most part, they are receiving something tangible like they normally would in person. And they don't have any problem with you not being there to look at the home, to go through the home with them?
No, I'm shocked, but most people, I think, and I think especially with, you know, millennials and this new generation, I think that they prefer it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. I'm hearing that from a lot of our clients as well too that are doing this. It is shocking, and it's such a change, you know, and again, we knew we were getting here sooner or later, but it is shocking how many of the clients really, they can show you the house with their phone via FaceTime just fine. And they trust that that's enough, which I think is phenomenal. It's shocking. And we feel like as agents that we're cheating them and that we're being lazy because we're not putting on pants and going to a listing consultation. But they actually look at that as heightened customer service.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. They need help, and we're able to help them virtually despite all the limitations we're facing right now.
Yeah, and what's funny is I think, and this is all kind of coming to me this week because I've always thought we'd get here sooner or later. Didn't know it was going to be like this, but they talk about the coronavirus, how it's going to run its course at some point, but then it's going to flare up again, and it's always going to be a concern for a while, for maybe up to 18 months, right? Which is a year and a half. I mean, that's a year and a half of people like not shaking hands. That's a year and a half of social distancing to some degree. I mean, we're all going to kind of get used to it. You know what I mean? It's going to kind of be weird being around people you don't know and things like that. So I think if we don't offer this service, we're actually doing something socially inappropriate. Like, I don't think we're up to par with our real estate game if we're not at least making a listing consultation via video conference available to them.
That's exactly right, Brian. I think people are going to recover from this at a different pace. And so we have to make sure that we're able to meet them wherever they are. If in a few months people are ready to meet again physically, fantastic. We will still offer face-to-face appointments. But, that's not possible for everyone. Everyone, again, is going to recover at a different pace. And let's not forget, we all have clients that we work with who maybe don't live in town or whatever. And so really, all of these measures apply to that too.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. Excellent. So the matter of actually setting the appointment is kind of what you said. It's something like, hey, in light of everything that's going on, would you prefer if we did a video consultation? And they're just all jumping on it. I mean, who wouldn't right now?
I'm actually shocked at how quickly people are getting on board with that idea.
Got it. Good. And I think that's a big part of it too. Like we have to be comfortable getting people comfortable with it. Like you just said, you're doing it by FaceTime or Zoom. I mean, some people are doing it by Google Hangouts or Uber Conference or et cetera, et cetera. I am finding most are using Zoom typically, but FaceTime will work too if that's, what somebody's comfortable talking to their grandkids with. That's like meet them where that's easy for them. But we're going to have to kind of do some tech troubleshooting with them, right? And
we are.
Well, and I think also not just with our clients, with other agents too. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're making sure that everybody on the team is getting comfortable with these systems. We're testing them out on our children, parents, grandparents, because it's all in the way we present it. I think if we present it in an engaging way, pointing out all the pluses to these technology systems, then it makes it a lot easier for them to get on board. And you're exactly right. Getting the other agents on board too is going to be good for our industry. Right.
I think with your clients, you're going to have to kind of show them how to connect their audio, connect their video. They don't know where those buttons are. Sometimes I think, with the other agents, now, obviously that probably wouldn't be the case with a listing consultation, but once you get these properties listed, they're going to want to show them. And if showing's difficult and we're still non-essential workers or you're still a non-essential worker in California, doesn't that feel terrible? You're non-essential. Like it is.
Providing shelters for people. Who'd have thought?
Yeah. So you're still non-essential, or, as the president came out and said, we're not, we're going to get people back to work by Easter. If we're still at a place where we can't work at some time through this listing or through a transaction, we may, and I know we're doing it already, is offering virtual showings where we're going to have to educate your seller on how to show the property to prospective buyers and buyers agents in a scenario like an Uber conference or a Zoom conference like you and I are on right here, where they can ask questions of the seller with the listing agent and all four of us on there, the buyer's agent and the seller and the buyer.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And making sure that they have the proper technology in place too, in order to show their home and provide those virtual showings. For some people that might include dropping off our Matterport device. That way they have that to give buyers and agents a better idea of what their property looks like, get a better feel for the property. So we're just having to embrace all these systems and be excited about showing our clients how they work too. Right,
and the Matterport device is something you want to Google, Matterport. It's a device where, you could actually, it's something you could, typically agents would set up themselves, but you can drop it off, if you are in you're non-essential or you're in a stay-at-home state where the seller can set it up and you can show them how to set it up. And it's actually going to, do a very high definition video in 360 view of the house where people online can then walk through the house. And it's really nice. It's a pricey device, but it's very high end. And boy, are they selling. I mean, you want to buy stock in Zoom and Matterport right now. I mean, those are getting bought hot off the shelves right behind toilet paper. So I think that's important. And so we're going to have to educate buyers and sellers. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to go back to in-person buyer consultations again either.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see that taking place anymore. I think people are going to get used to this virtual way of doing business. I think they're going to be excited about it. I think it's going to, free up a lot of time for everybody. I'm actually very excited about it.
Yeah, me too. I do. I'm really excited about it too. And I think from a buyer standpoint, it goes there. So what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to educate a lot of the other agents. We're going to have to get them on board with it. And it's going to be very frustrating. Change is frustrating. I remember, I'll date myself a bit, but I remember when we went off of the MLS from books into like online listings. And oh my goodness, that was brutal too. And I feel like we're going through a mandatory switch here where there's going to be a lot of kicking and screaming. So that's where we're going to have to be patient with those people that have, or those agents that have difficulty, getting onto these programs, and they may not have equipment that's up to par. They may not have phones that are up to par. They may not know how to work them properly. So we're going to have to get them educated on how they can do this virtually and be very patient, especially in this environment right now. There is a lot of anger in agents, because a lot of agents are doing a lot of business and they know how to do it. And the ones that aren't are very frustrated by that. So there's a lot of flaring up of almost political parties within the agent population, because people like yourself, Jillian, I mean, you were already designed to do this and handle all this. The rest, they have to change their entire business, and they can't believe that you're already there, but you've just been there the whole time.
Yeah, and there's some other agents that are there too, which I think is good, because I think we can all help each other. Right. We all work together. We're all cooperating agents. And so I think that we can all help each other adapt.
Right. And I know this is going a bit, but I do want to say, when you're in, I think this is probably the last point I want to make. When you're in this listing consultation, I mean, I don't think we're going to tell them, there are some, your normal listing consultation, it's your normal listing consultation, right? However, there are some unique things that we need to prepare them for, right? So there are some, we are in a unique environment right now. So this isn't going to, if they've sold their house before, this might be a little bit different this go around. Mm-hmm. So with that said, I think we already mentioned one of them, virtual showings, right? We've got to let them know we might need their help a little bit on showing their property right now. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching this in a state where you have to shelter in place or stay at home, and you are non-essential, you're going to need to get your sellers on board with showing virtually. And you might want to think about that Matterport device we talked to kind of help you out with that. And one of the things you do is you do home inspections up front, right?
Yeah, we've actually been doing that for a long time. We always make that option available, prior to putting the house on the market. And most people opt to do that. It just makes for a very pleasant, smooth transaction to know that the house is completely clean, everything is fixed and in good working order. So I think that this is especially a good time to really, consider that seriously. Do the home inspection up front, do the termite report up front if you can. That way you can just be in control and limit as many people coming into your house as possible down the line. There are some really good things I think that are going to come out of this too. We're also seeing a lot of drive-by appraisals and virtual notaries that's being utilized in other parts of the country. I know that it will come here soon. Sellers are going to be bothered a lot less, which I think a lot of people are really going to like.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, in fact, I mean, there's orders from the federal government and many federal and state agencies to make sure that we are doing drive-by appraisals, virtual appraisals, and virtual notaries for virtual signings, because they want to see real estate transact. They want to see sales in real estate, because we must keep the real estate market up to keep our banks solid. And people forget that, residential real estate is the security for over 80% of the world's debt. So if that debt falls, well, we know what happens when that debt falls. That happened in 2007 and 2008. So the last thing we need is for housing values to decline. So that's why the federal government, the National Association of Realtors, and everyone else is pushing so hard to make realtors essential and to make sure that real estate sales occur. I think there's a little miscommunication from some of the state governments right now, like the one you're in. However, I think they will iron it out and get it done. And again, with your home inspections up front, I think, you're definitely not going to those, right? You're staying in your house.
Oh, no. Yeah. And the home inspectors, they want to be alone at the property too. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, good sides on this, other good sides too. Like right now, the home buyers that are out there looking, they're quality home buyers. These are serious people. They're not looky-loos.
Yeah. You shouldn't be having a lot of looky-loos or people who have no reason going to look at property right now. So like you said, the buyers that are out there are very high quality buyers. They're pre-approved and ready to go. And
they're dealing with low rates right now. So there's a lot of them and they're very hungry. And there's not much competition. I mean, there are a lot of people that are saying, I'm just going to wait till this is over. I'm not going to list right now. So supply is down. So inventory is low with high buyer demand means very commanding position on prices and negotiating. So there's low competition for you out there.
Exactly. And just like we saw 10 years ago, there's going to be a lot of people fleeing from the stock market into real estate.
That's right.
A lot of investors. It's a great opportunity for first-time buyers. And investors, usually buy several properties. So it's still possible.
That's right. No, I love it. And one thing before, I want to plug one thing we do too before I let you go. At Icenhower Coaching and Consulting, we actually do provide to our clients a pre-listing presentation packet that is in a PDF form that's fully editable and digital that we give to all of our clients as well too, so they can quickly change all those names and send those out. Because a pre-listing packet by email right now, even before all this, I think that, you had a pre-listing packet. That's something we do, right? Even a pre-listing video is a good idea where you shoot, I know you have that as well too, a pre-listing video that we send before the listing consultation is a really, really good idea in this market, just to show you are tech savvy and that you're one of the few agents that can get it done right now.
Yeah.
So, well, Jillian, thank you so much for your time, especially right now. I know you're busy as heck. Get back in your house, continue homeschooling.
Yeah, I got to go back to, Mrs. Boss. Here I go.
All right. And thank all of you for watching this. Appreciate it. Good luck and don't quit.